Hi, Esther here with EP Self-Defense Initiative. Thank you so much for sharing your time and space with me today. I promise to honor it by being as brief and informational as possible. Today we're going to discuss a new topic. It's tribal isolation. Now I want to be clear that I am not trying to appropriate a term or define a group of indigenous people, but rather to define a characteristic that is with a tribe, which is a group of people with similar values and ideals, culture, okay? And when I'm talking about isolation, I'm talking about just that, the separation of a group, of that very group with the same values and ideals. When we're talking about abuse, though, I want to be clear that the tribe is ruled by either a patriarch or a matriarch, so to speak, or the aggressor. The aggressor is always the one in control. This is why they become abusive, because they want to have the control and power. And so when we're talking about this tribal isolation, this is the abuser trying to control all the people around them even more tightly. It is well known that one of the tactics that abusers use is to isolate their primary victim from the outside community. Usually this happens by isolating the victim from family and friends, not letting them see each other, or for the victim to contact out for resources or help. When we're talking about tribal isolation, that has further extended to reach out to the children or to other family members that are within the same household or depend on the abuser for help, okay? When we're talking about what this tribal isolation is, it is not only affecting the primary victim, which is usually the partner, but we're also now reaching out to the other parts. And it's not necessarily child abuse, we're just talking about isolation. The child before had access to an environment, which was at school or in the classroom, where they were separated from the primary abusive environment. Okay? Now there's no accountability for that child. But now the child is doing online learning, and many of these children have completely fallen off the grid, where they're not even checking in for school or attendance or e-learning. So this is that isolation that happens, where the abuser is no longer permitting that child to could have any resources outside. Control of technology becomes really important in an abusive relationship or in an abusive tribe, because technology can be used to access resources or even to ask for help. The other type of tribal isolation that we or have noticed happening is that it's happening from the extended family. And this is where if the abuser doesn't want the victim, the primary victim, from reaching out, they might prevent that victim from reaching out or helping the rest of the tribe that is close. If you're watching this video, you're probably not experiencing this form of tribal isolation, at least not consciously. You might be practicing some form of isolation on a personal and emotional, psychological level, definitely physical, but it is a conscious effort to focus on oneself. We have to be aware about our neighbors, about our friends, and the rest of our circle and the rest of our tribe. So please, do not isolate. Do not let your tribe isolate. Please make sure that your children are contacting their parents, their aunts, their cousins. We need that contact, okay? Try to reach out. Please make sure to pay close attention to mothers. Reach out to your loved ones. Please, this is not the time to isolate in an emotional, psychological way, okay? And this is where tribal isolation becomes extremely dangerous. Physical isolation at this time, it's okay. We need to be distanced from other people. We need to stay safe. Emotionally and psychologically, therefore, we need those emotional and psychological supports to help us deal with the stress and everything else that is happening to maintain a healthier environment. Okay, so reach out. Do not isolate your tribe at this time, please. Be aware, be strong, be empowered people. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to call, email, or make a comment, and I will check those. Thank you all, and I hope you stay safe.